Well, blast me to Bermuda. It's time for another Mad Merlin's video. Hello and welcome back to another Mad Merlin's unboxing video. Today we are going to look at this. It's a box. What's inside that box? Let's find out. Before we get into it, I have a little announcement to make. My Imperium series has been delayed due to my issues being sent out in incorrect order. So I should have received 3, 4, 5 and 6, but instead I've received 7, 8, 9 and 10, which are in here. So I will be recording all the playthroughs for 7, 8, 9 and 10 and will post them up at the appropriate times after 3, 4, 5 and 6 have gone live. So without further ado, let's open the box. So why is it a box? Well, not only do I have 4 issues, I also have my first Imperium binder. So straight out the box we have issue 10 with 5 Necron Warriors. Then we have issue 9 with the other Necron Warriors plus 2 Scarab Swarms. We have issue 7, which is a paint heavy issue. And we have issue 8 with the Necron Overlord, plus some dice. And finally, we have our Imperium binder. Let's have a quick look over this before we move on to the magazines. So, front cover we have Primaris Lieutenant. Rear cover we have the Overlord. On the spine we have Scorpec Lord and a Primaris Captain, plus the Hachette and Warhammer logo at the bottom with Imperium up at the top. On the inside we see how the folders break down. So you have your collect folder, read folder, build and paint folder and a play folder. And you have all the different dividers. So each one details what goes in what section. So you have the reading finding system. So you have 41st Millennium, then Space Marines, Adeptus Mechanicus, Adeptus Sororitas, and Necrons. Build, you'll have all your build guides in issue order. Come on. Paint guides, you'll have all your paint guides in issue order. Then your play guides, you'll have your tutorials. You'll get your full set of Warhammer 40,000 rules. You'll get mission packs, which I believe starts from issue 8 onwards. You start playing more story-driven missions. You then have data sheets for your Space Marines, Adeptus Mechanicus, Adeptus Sororitas, the Necrons, and of course your terrain. So I'll be able to start filing away my issues. So let's start. We'll start in number order. So issue 7, which is a paint issue. Just tear open the packaging. So we have 3 paints. One of my favourite whites, Corax White. Mechanicus Standard Grey, another one that I use quite a lot of, and Retributor Armour. So have a quick flick through issue 7. So on the front cover it says we have 3 paints, we learn about the era Indomitus, a detailed painting guide, and we battle with our new painted models. We also have a Ultramarines name and title generator. That will come in very handy to help make names, because I'm guessing at some point we'll get data sheets which won't have room for generator tables. Then we have titles and honorifics at the back. We have a Necron's name and titles chart. with epithets and unit names. We have information about the era Indomitus, Rebute Gilliman leading the Indomitus crusade from terror throughout the galaxy, reuniting the Imperium much as his father did at the time of the Great Crusade. It's a very short fluff section. And we got how to paint our Ultramarines. So this will include some models I don't have yet, like the Primaris Captain. But it's a reminder about how to prepare your paints, get your models ready, and rotating your models. So we are applying white to the areas of our models. So the shoulder pad markings on the assault intercessors, any ground rock details like on the aggressors, which again I don't have yet, flesh details on the Primaris Captain, as well as any skulls. Painting the Primaris Lieutenant's shield and helmet stripe. Next, we're moving on to the gold. We're putting Retributor armor on the Aquila, shoulder pad, rims, Indomitus icons, and on the bottoms of the chainswords. I will not be doing the gold on the shoulder pad rims because I'll be doing Third Company, which will be red. So again, more details on the aggressors, the gold. So there's quite a lot of details on these models. And again, on the captain, there's plenty of details. Also painting the inside of his cape white. And finally, grey. So we're painting the holsters and the scabbards. We're also painting gold on the Primaris Lieutenant's shield. So yeah, anything to be painted grey will be painted grey. Okay, our next mission is the Necron Resurgence. So obviously the Necrons are making a comeback assault against the Space Marines. So we have 2 assault intercessors, a single objective, and 3 Necron Warriors. They got full data sheets near enough. We've got strength and toughness included, strength of weapons, all about wounding. So starting to flesh out knowledge of the game. Right, issue 8 then. One of the issue I'm looking forward to, the Necron Overlord. So we have our Necron Overlord with his Resurrection Orb and War Scythe. Lovely detail model, a non-push fit, so if you aren't used to the full scale GW models, this and the Captain will be one of your first full multi-part kits, which will require a little bit more gluing and detailing than our push fit models. We also get a 40mm base for the Necron Overlord, and we get a little baggie of 6 dice. I've got a couple of multiple issues of issue 1, so I've already got quite a few dice. And believe me, you will need them. Right, so issue 8, we have a single miniature. We learn about the Necron Overlord, names and customize your Necron Noble, and paint your Necron collection. So, details of our new model. He has a Resurrection Orb. His Dynastic Panoply. The Anchor of the Triarch. He has a metallic cape and loincloth. And he has his Void Scythe. Other Necron Overlords might also wield the deadly Tachyon Arrow. So of course we got our battle record to add our names, epithets even, ancient degradations, and your war gear names. Then we learned to build our Necron Overlord. So first assembly, putting the neck in, then gluing the torso shut. In the cape. Finally the leg and the arm, and the head and the arm. I would suggest leaving the cape separate if you want to reach all the details. A little bit of blue tack over the connection point would be ideal. And we have painting our models, so Runelord Brass and Lead Belcher for our basic models. We're adding Corax White to any cables, the eyes, and the glow effect on the weapons. Same for the destroyers, adding it to the blades, the weapons, and any rocks, which will later be shaded. Painting his Royal Panoply, painting the Resurrection Orb, his War Scythe Blade, and again, his rocks. We're also putting Retributor armor on some of the details. Same for the Necron Warden. More details getting painted gold. Then the Plasma Sight, we've got some white details and some metal details, which we would have done in the previous issue. And then we're putting black over our Necron's gun casings and in our Necron joints of our Necron Warriors. But like I said, I've already done a video which I will be putting up shortly of issue 2, in which I show you how I paint my Necron Warriors. Again, painting more details on the Skullprick Destroyers, picking out areas that'll be black, and same for the Royal Warden. And the final details on the Plasma Sight and the Overlord. So we have our next issue, which returns to the next mission, which returns to the small mat. We have 3 aggressors and the Overlord rises. So basically, try to take down the Overlord or try to eliminate the aggressors. We have our full data sheets for our units. We have elite choice Primaris aggressors and a HQ choice to the Overlord. So Necrons go first, and the Space Marines, and then we play off. So there we have it. So issues 9 and 10, our next issues, containing 10 Necron Warriors. So we'll go with issue 9 first. So we have our frame of Necron Warriors with 4 Necron Warriors on it and 2 Scarab Storms. This being the full kit, you have the choice of weapons as well as a choice of 2 heads for each model. Two 40mm bases for our Scarabs. And the 4 32mm bases for our Necron Warriors. So we have a bonus sheet, chapter organization. So we learn how a chapter breaks down. You got the command, the reclusium, the librarian, the apothecarium, the armory, your veterans first company, then your battle companies 2 to 5, your reserve companies 6 and 7, your close support reserve company of 8th, fire support company of 9th, and then your scout company. They have a nice up-close picture of one of the first pictures we had in issue 1's lore section. We have nice detailed pictures of the Ultramarines army and which sections of the chapter they come from. So 1, you got your armory, your tanks. 2 is your command. 3 are your battle lines, so your intercessors. 4, your veterans, terminators and veteran intercessors. 5, your close support, so your reavers. 7, your fire supports in the form of aggressors. And then the Primarch himself, Rabute Gilliman. So, back to the front cover. So we have 13 models with this issue, part 1 and 2. So obviously this issue and the next issue will have total 13 models. We learn about Warriors and Scarabs, Space Marine chapter fold out, which we've just looked at, and we also have an action-packed playthrough. So we have a phalanx of 10 warriors, detailing how Necrons are organised. So each section, each group of Necron Warriors fight in a phalanx. It says only 10 warriors, but you can have between 10 and 20 in each phalanx. So we got a very small detailed data sheet here. Trying to get the glare off if I can. I'll move my light back, that's better. Then we have Canoptic Scarabs. Report by Inquisitor Leonid Rostov. Nice. So all the different types of scarabs. You got the Mind Shackle Scarabs, which help brainwash mortal and sentient prisoners. Nano Scarabs, which are the Repair Scarabs. And then we got ways of detailing, so we got unit designation, the enhancements, protocols, and battle protocols. Okay, we have details about the Ultramarines, the Courage and Honor of Macragge. So we have the Victrix Guard, who are an elite unit exclusive to the Ultramarines chapter. Ooh. They have some personnel reports on certain battle brothers in a squad, Sevastus. We then got the Age of Witches. So all about the more prominent rise of Psychers. We got the Sanctioned Psychers of the Imperial Guard, the Alien Psychers of the Eldar, and of course the Mutated Chaos Psychers. We then have Soulless Cohorts, so a story about rising Necrons. So, how to build our Necron Warriors. So this covers both issues 9 and 10. So we got our 3 Scarab Swarms. Then we got the choice of Gor's Flayer or Gor's Reaper. You can either do 10 and 10 or 5 and 5, as it says here. And we go through full detailed build guides for our models. And what our finished models will look like. Now we have a Duel in the Depths playthrough 9. So we have Primaris Lieutenant, Primaris Captain versus the Royal Warden and the Overlord. So a little character on character fight. 2 will be focusing around shooting, while 2 will be trying it up close and personal. So again, issue 10 will have the last half of the Necron Warriors sprue, and issue 11 we get our first new model for the Space Marines in the form of a Primaris Librarian in Phobos armor with a dry brush. But on to issue 10. So here we have the other half of the sprue. Got 1 Scarab Swarm and our 6 Necron Warriors. I won't be making you watch all of these being built. I will build 1 of each, most likely, and then build the rest off camera when I get around to it. We got our last 40mm base for the Scarabs, and 6 32mm bases for our Necron Warriors. So 13 models of this issue, part 2 of 2. So we can guess that there will be quite a few more multi-part issues like this going forward, which would be quite nice. Whereas Conquest used to give out multiples of the same sprue, this one's giving you a lot more variety of models because it's giving you full multi-part kits. While they are still push fit, it's still their full kit, and they're giving it a spread across a couple of issues as opposed to giving you rather basic push fit, boring push fit models repeatedly throughout the collection. So no datas to input this time, so we've got some background. We got the names of weapons and war gear for the Ultramarines. So we're on a D33 table to choose our Ultramarines war gear name generator. And we got melee and ranged weapon war gear tables. So this is specifically for Ultramarines. Ranged weapons, melee weapon, and this is war gear. So that'd be like your storm shields and other items. Then you got your ranged weapons, so your bolters, and your melee weapons like your swords. Then we got Space Marines and Tools of War, all the different types of weapons that Space Marines wield. Got the bolt rifles of the Intercessors, the plasma incinerator of the Hellblasters, the melter weapons of the Eradicators, and the flamers from a tactical squad, or in this case, a Space Wolf Grey Hunter pack. Auto weapons, las weapons, Volkite weapons, which have only just started coming back into use throughout the Space Marines. And then we have grav weapons, which basically just crush the armor around a person. As opposed to doing physical damage, it crushes stuff like armor, tank hulls, and just compacts it. Very deadly weapons. Grenades-wise, you have crack grenade, frag grenades, and the melter bomb. We have more details about the Necron Legions, so all the different types of Necron Legions throughout the galaxy. And how the legions are broken down. So you got Immortals, Deathmarks, Warriors, and the Tomb Blades, which are 4 of the more numerous of the Necron Warriors class races. So now we got paint guide on how to paint our models from the last issue. So Runelord brass applied all over the model. So as our previous guide was shown, we skipped certain areas. Now we're going to covering the entirety of the model. So ideally for this, it'd be a good idea if you got yourself a can of spray to do that. And next, after the base coating of Runelord brass, we're going on to Corax white for the gun effects, energy cables and rocks, as well as the eyes. Corax white and Abaddon black on the scarabs, so Abaddon black on the legs, Corax white on the woks. What's a wok? Having a stir fry. And then of course Corax white over the energy orbs. Back to the Necron Warriors, we're putting Abaddon black over the underskeleton and the weapon casings. So there'll be various different sections on each of the models, so they're all rather nice and unique. Lead belcher, so we're going, again, the gun, exposed wires and cables, and any working parts of the joints. And there's our gallery of our completed models. So we're back to our big mat for this mission. So we've got 2 squads of 5 Necron Warriors against a squad of 3 Assault Intercessors. So we're learning about unit coherency. And looks like it's going to be a mission where we have to get, Necron Warriors have to try and break free, while the Assault Intercessors have to hold them off. So it's mission 2, but on a larger scale. So hopefully it shouldn't be too one-sided this time. So we've got some references for how to use units, detailing coherency, moving individual units, shooting with units, charging at units, and fighting with units. We have a reminder on how to charge, as well as all the different types of guns. So we're learning, we've got the assault types, pistol types, rapid fire types, and of course you've got your melee weapons. So we're already getting some of the full, although it says playthrough, this is more full core rules sort of stuff. So Space Marines get turn 1, and it's suggesting you close in on the nearest squad and start eliminating them. There we go. So our next two Imperiums are issue 11, the Librarian, with a dry brush. So we learn about the Primaris Librarians, painting our Librarian, and we also learn about psychic powers. Then issue 12, we get 3 new paints. So Canoptic Alloy and Agrax Earthshade, which will be used for your Necrons. So you'll be putting Agrax Earthshade over the Runelord Brass, and then you'll be putting Canoptic Alloy as a layer over that, leaving the shade in the darker recesses. We also get Screamer Pink, which we'll be using on the Space Marines for stuff like Purity Seals and possibly capes. And again, Agrax Earthshade will be used to apply over certain Space Marine armor pieces or other details to help shade them down. So we get new rules for heroes, adding paint to both our forces, and of course 3 new paints. So I won't be breaking up the issues yet, obviously, because I got to do my videos for each individual issue. But there we go, that's been the unboxing for my latest Imperium delivery. I hope you found this useful. So, there you have it. This has been the unboxing for my Warhammer 40,000 Imperium subscription. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe for more mad content. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link below, as well as links for my social medias and website. I have been Merlin. I'm quite mad about painting, and goodbye.